So this is going to be an extensive tutorial, step by step, and exactly what I would do if I was to sign on a new OnlyFans creator just starting out, and how I would help her get to $20,000 a month in earnings. No bullshit, no fluff, let's just jump straight into it. So we have the presentation on the side as always. So have you ever wondered how some creators go from $0 to $20,000 a month in earnings, whilst others are stuck at $500 a month? They feel like they're trying everything and they're just not quite getting to even $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. Well, what if you could see my exact blueprint on what I would do if I had to start over and help a creator get to $20,000 a month? So yeah, my name is Markuss. I built my agency from the ground up. With that, I was able to retire my mother. And so far, I have helped nearly 300 agency owners all around the world not only sign their first creators, but also scale to hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in earnings. I've seen simply what works and what's a waste of time, right? So it all starts off with the $20,000 a month mindset, right? There really is a big shift that happens up here when going from $0 to $20,000 a month. Scaling to $20,000 a month is about focus, discipline, and relentless execution. That's really where everything starts off with, right? Before we go into the practicals, which we absolutely will do, you must understand that in order to actually achieve these heights, it all starts with here. So focus in the sense of, well, you must be all in with this, right? As an agency owner, you must be forward thinking. Whenever there's a new viral strategy or a new trend, whatever, you must jump into it in real time. So you're focused on that, right? Discipline, well, making sure that you show up every single day, even the Saturdays, even the Sundays, and you go above and beyond, even when you don't feel like it. And relentless execution, you must simply do what works all day, every day, not just for a small little period of time and getting to like $10,000 and celebrating that and then going back down to $2,000 or $3,000, right? You need to set clear, measurable goals for the models, such as weekly content targets, daily engagement quotas, and monthly revenue goals. The model must treat this as a real business, not a side hustle. You also need to be prepared for setbacks and stay consistent even when growth slows. The key here is that your client also needs to treat this as a business. I know this might seem like fucking common sense, but for a lot of people, they will take on a client and this, OnlyFans creator, he or she is doing a bit of everything, right? And OnlyFans, even for some of them, actually is their full-time thing, but they don't treat it like their full-time thing. Meaning, when you sell a custom, if the client is like, oh yeah, I'll do it later, and then that later becomes the next day, and then that next day becomes next week, and it just keeps getting delayed, and then you get a refund, right? That's stupid. That's not really your fault. The client must actually treat this as a full-time thing, as a real business, because it is. And think about it, to get to $20,000 a month, that is a serious amount of money. That can, for some people, be life-changing, right? And it's not easy. If it was easy, then everybody would have done it. So you must take this serious. So it all starts off with finding the right client, right? Look for models who are hungry, reliable, and coachable. Avoid anyone who is flaky, dramatic, or looking for easy money, right? This is all the way from the beginning. Now, you as an agency owner, if you are brand new, you might not know how to actually distinguish somebody who's serious and who isn't. But to give you a few kind of indicators and some red flags that I look for are things when they are physically not going to be available. So for example, if he or she is currently in her travel phase, right? She's in Southeast Asia or she's in South America and she's just traveling, she's going from Airbnb to Airbnb, that's a red flag. I'm happy for you, right? That's great for you as a person, but for me to work with you, that's probably not going to work because I know how difficult it is to actually have a consistent routine going when you're traveling, right? Because every week you're changing location and so on. Other things could be even on a personal side, right? If they've just recently gone through a very tough breakup with their partner, that's quite serious. And that can be very, very straining, like mentally straining. And therefore maybe they're not, motivated to create content, which delays things and so on. Another one is maybe they're moving homes, right? Obviously this is not a forever thing. This is only for like a couple of weeks, but you have to take these things into account. Anyway, next one, you want to check the model's current social media presence. Are they already posting regularly? Do they have a following? Are they comfortable in front of the camera? If not, they are unlikely to succeed. Make sure they're open to feedback and willing to try new things. So let's go into the actual practicals now. So first of all, traffic sources. So you want to focus on one thing. So just pick one thing and master it. For most models, Instagram is the best starting point, right? Instagram, you can't really go wrong with it. You have trial reels, Reels in general have a very high virality to them, so it's very easy to go viral on Reels themselves. Do not try to do Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, X, and YouTube all at the same time. Once you have one platform working for you, then you can add a second one. And you can also use cross promotion to drive traffic from X to Reddit and TikTok to Instagram and so on once you've mastered one. So my advice really for most of you guys is just to focus on one. So if you sign on a new client and they have a huge Twitter account, mainly double down on that. Create a second Twitter and drive traffic to it, join a bunch of share-for-share groups on Twitter, do a bunch of comment baiting and really double down, get an extra VA and then post more on Twitter, right? And then eventually you drive that traffic from Twitter all the way to Instagram, and then you can start growing your Instagram account for this client, right? Then once you have one big Instagram account, you then create in the second one, right? And so on and so on. Anyway, the idea here is you're gonna pick one platform, double down on it, and then what works, you do more of that, right? Focused effort on one platform allows you to build momentum and avoid spreading yourself too thin. Use analytics to see which source is converting the best. And that also is within the account. So within the account, you should see what kind of content starts to perform the best and do more of that. So if typically, at least for us right now at the time of this recording, and I don't see this changing anytime soon, typically Reels with other people and out and about in public, they tend to perform a lot better than if the creator is just by themselves in their bedroom trying to do the video, right? Next is account structure for scale. So you can use what's called the mother-slave system. So one main account, so yeah, you'd have one main account, which is public, one private account for hype, and several slave accounts for following and engagement, right? The private account is used to build FOMO, which stands for fear of missing out. So in this instance, you have obviously here a mother account. So this would be like your main account, your public account. This would be a private account. So this is where you also push in traffic. And then from this account right here, you would be essentially pushing traffic to here, to your main accounts. And then you have all these backups, which you don't mind posting a bit more explicit content, because if they do happen to get banned, it is what it is. It's not your main account, right? But because it is a lot more explicit content, you can test these and they tend to go a lot more viral. So that works very well. Accept follower requests, then go public and drop your best content to create viral effect. Slave accounts are used for engagement, following, and driving traffic to the main account. This structure allows you to maximize reach and engagement whilst protecting your main account from bans, right? So that's the key. On your main account, you want to be very safe. You don't want to push the limits too much, so then the content that you are posting is not too explicit, right? Whereas the mother-slave account 1, 2, and 3, you can really do whatever you want, right? And you can really push the boundaries, knowing that if the account does get banned, it's okay. That's kind of the intention with it, right? Always have backup accounts ready in case of bans. Next is the actual content. So batch content creation is essential. Have your model shoot 1 to 2 hours per week to create enough content for the entire week, at least bare ass minimum. You can obviously, the more you do, the better, but at least a bare ass minimum of 1 to 2 hours per week. Repurpose your best content across platforms, but always tweak the captions and format each platform. Another pro tip as well, which is not on this presentation, is you can also use trial reels on Instagram. So whenever you have a winning reel, so for example, in the last 90 days, you pick the top 10 best videos that have performed. And then what you want to do is you want to slightly re-edit them. So cut the beginning, cut the end. You can invert the video, so flip it. You can also change the saturation slightly and then re-upload them as a trial reel. And they typically will go viral again. If they've already done it once, they're probably going to do it again. Use a content calendar to plan out themes, trends, and special events such as holidays or sporting events. Use a mix of reels, carousels, stories, and lives to keep the feed fresh and engaging, right? Consistency is key, building a loyal following. Encourage your models to document her daily life for more content ideas. And overall, genuinely, just get her personality out there, right? Like if she's funny, get her to create funny reels, right? If she's super flexible, get her to create flexible reels or whatever, right? Where she's doing yoga or whatever. But really get her personality out there. Get her to talk in front of the camera. That's key, especially the stories. Maybe she doesn't want to do it on the reels that are going to stay on her account forever, but an Instagram story disappears in 24 hours. So make sure she actually shows her personality in these videos. And then daily posting and tracking. Daily posts, but do not burn out your model's the content. Quality is more important than quantity. Track everything: followers, engagement, link clicks, subscribers, and revenue. Use Google Sheets, Notion, or Inflow to keep detailed records. Review analytics weekly and double down on content and strategies that are working the best. Set up weekly review calls with your models to discuss progress and adjust strategy as needed. And use reminders and checklists to keep everyone accountable. This is a big one that most people don't do. You do need to do weekly updates to your client and also track what's working and what isn't, right? Whenever you are posting a reel, take a link of this reel, put it into a Google Sheet, and then after 24 hours, you want to update the amount of views. And then you can mark it green, amber or red, right? Meaning green is very good, amber is it performed average, red is it was bad. And then at the end of the week, you say, hey, these are the green ones, let's do more of them, because this clearly worked. It is as simple as that. You track what's working and you do more of that. Chatting and monetization is do the chatting yourself for the first 2 weeks. This allows you to learn what fans are responding to, what upsells are working, and how to build relationships. So you don't have to, but my recommendation is for at least 2 weeks, you want to do it yourself. Create scripts for your chatters, but also allow for personalization. Pay these chatters a base salary plus commission to keep them motivated. Use Inflow or Creator Hero to track chat performance and optimize scripts based on real data, right? And yeah, the quality of your chatting team directly impacts your revenue. Test different upsells, offers, and PPV pricing, okay? And by this point, think about it, right? From $0 to $20,000 a month. By this point, you guys understand social media, so you're gonna pick one platform, you're gonna start to post content at least consistently once a day. You're gonna track that, you're gonna figure out what's working and what isn't. What is working, you do more of that, and you're starting to scale that. And then eventually you can start to do Twitter, then Reddit, then other platforms like Snapchat, Facebook, and so on. And then you're gonna do the chatting yourself for about 2 weeks, and then you can hire a chatter or a team of chatters to do the work for you. And then once you have one account working, add more. Do not try to scale too fast. Quality is more important than quantity. Use referrals to grow your roster. Ask your models to bring in friends as a referral for a bonus or a percentage of their first month's earnings. Build a team. Hire VAs for posting, chatters for DMs, and editors for content. Document your process, SOPs. SOPs stand for Standard Operating Procedure. So as you're replacing yourself, right, so chatter is your first one. You're doing the chatting yourself, and then you will start to document what you do and how you do it and what's working. And then when you hire a chatter, you give them this document and you walk them through, hey, this is what's worked, this is why I believe the chatting works really well when I do it, and this is how I do it. Same with the editors, same with everything else. Always be looking for ways to automate and automate repetitive tasks. Pitfalls to avoid is write these down. Do not chase every new platform or trend. Master one thing at a time. Do not hire too fast. Train people yourself first so you know exactly what to expect. Do not ignore analytics. What gets measured gets managed. Do not neglect the model's mental health. Schedule breaks and provide support as needed, and avoid burnout by setting unrealistic expectations and maintaining a healthy work-life balance. And then last but not least, the advanced section is use paid promotions on meme pages or influencers, shout outs to accelerate growth. So there are different kind of shout out types. So you can do paid shout outs. So you find other OnlyFans creators, ideally in a similar niche, you reach out to them, you broker a deal. So if they want $500, you try to get them to like $200, and then boom, you get them to promote your clients. Shout out for shout out is where it's not paid. It's your client is going to give them a shout out and vice versa. And voluntary shout outs, very rarely you're going to get maybe some theme pages, etc., where in return they get to use your client's content, but they obviously shout you out for free. Test different pricing strategies for subscriptions and PPVs to maximize revenue. Use close friends method of exclusive content and upsells and retain fans. Experiment with new content formats and engagement strategies to keep your audience engaged. And if you want to win, you must outwork everyone. Stay focused and never quit when it gets hard. Leave a like on this video. Let me know what else you'd like me to create a video on next, and I'll see you on the next one.